Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Madina Olusola.
After giving 17 years of your life in service and sacrifice to an organization, and boom, in a flash, you're told it's over. It's like being hit by a 10-ton brick. The sense of rejection and hopelessness can be palpable. You go through a range of emotions, from anger to bitterness to self-pity to self-doubt. Madina went through all this, but she had a thing going for her: her unshakable belief in the awesome power of her Creator, the one who has the key to the world of the unseen, Allah Azza wa Jalla.
I served with a particular bank in this country, and after the youth service, I had to take the exam, the entrance exam to the institution. It was a drama on its own because at the interview, I had my head covered, and the panel was now asking, I hope you know this is not a Muslim bank. I told them that I'd been covering my head ever since my university days, that I don't think it's going to change anything because I was covering my head, not my brain. So I think, unfortunately, the chairman of the panel was a Muslim. They only wanted to test my confidence. And I told them that, I'm sorry, this is me. And I felt they wanted to test me, not somebody else. After the interview, I felt maybe they were biased about the religion. I wasn't going to be given a chance. But I was surprised when I was called to come and resume work. I served 1 year with them, and after the youth service, then I got the job. When I got the job, a lot of drama happened. One of the experiences I will never forget in the bank is I loved to treat my customers specially. And in the course of treating my customers specially, today, what I can boast of having as my network were my customers in the bank. I can go anywhere in this country and I know I have my customers there because I did beyond the customer-banker relationship. I was interested in their lives and they were interested in mine. I had so many uncles, so many aunties in the course of the career. One of the other experiences I had was I had this fantastic boss who was so passionate about people's personal lives. So when you come in the morning, she will study you, look at your mood and everything. And if she sees that you are not the person that she used to know, she will invite you over. When you share your story with her, she will encourage you. She will just be your mother and she will take you from there without being ill, without anything. She was on vacation for a few weeks. And what we learned from there was that she died in the hospital. I felt like quitting the banking career because I always look forward to seeing her every morning because I felt I had a mother in the bank. When she passed on was like a major break in my career. However, life must go on. The banking world, I would tell people, is like the outside world. So much politics going on there, so much backbiting, so much bitterness. You don't know someone that is envying your position. You don't know someone that wants to put you in trouble. The customers too cannot be spared. So one morning, it was during Ramadan, I had this task on me that required me to work Saturday, Sunday. I didn't have a life. I had to take my work home. I had to resume work as early as 5 o'clock in the morning. I had to come to work to say my Subhi prayer and all that. I didn't know the lady next to my office didn't like me. So that particular day during Ramadan, when I resumed work, I was too tired because I had worked all through the weekend. So nature came calling. I was too tired and now slept off. She now came to my office and took a picture of me sleeping. And in the banking career, you dare not sleep on duty. In fact, it's the end of the career. So by the time I woke up and I just continued what I was doing and all that, the next thing I got was a letter from the Human Resources that they caught me sleeping and all that. I was so shocked that how, because the person that came to call me was on the 12th floor, I was on the 7th floor. I was wondering, how could the person on 12th floor see someone on 7th floor sleeping? But you know, in the midst of having friends, you have enemies. So a lot of people now came telling me that it was a particular lady that was next to my office that took the picture. And when the HR person called me, he now sat me down in his office and asked me, write what happened. All I remembered was I was tired and I slept off. So I wrote all that. Then the union people now came and met me. I said, Hajia, no, don't own up that you were sleeping, because it's going to be summary dismissal. And then I put in about 17 years then. So can you imagine 17 years just going like that? So I now told the man that I wasn't feeling fine, that it was my boss that requested me to come that day. That I came not feeling too well and anything could have happened and all that. So the man now said, Madam, you don't have an excuse. You just have to face the panel and you know what it means and all that. So while I was processing that in my mind, that are they telling me that 17 years will go like that? The fact that I took the work home over the weekend, I resumed work 5 o'clock, even though the banking hours start 8 o'clock. Somebody said I was sleeping and all that. In my quiet moments, I now said, okay, even if I have to leave, I will leave a brave person. I would tell the world what happened. So I just sent an internal mail to the ED. In the banking sector, the staff, they are very far away from the executive officers. But because we have this internal mail, I now sent a mail to him. I now told him that I need to see you. He now said, what is it that you can't say on phone? I said, no, it's not something I can say on phone. I'm going through a lot and all that. He now said, see me. I said, okay, I can die before next week. As soon as he read I can die, he just said, Madam, what is it that's going to kill you next week? Please start coming right away. So when I got to his office and told him that this is what happened. I've been working for the past 3 months, taking work home Saturday and Sunday. But this particular day, I just was too tired. In fact, my boss begged me to come to the office. On coming to the office, somebody took my picture that was sleeping and all that. I told him the truth and all that. He now said, that's too wicked of them. He now called the HR person and his boss to his office and said, please dismiss that case. Forget about the case. I was free. So when I got to the office, I didn't like it because people had started coming to tell me that it was a particular lady that took my picture and all that. And she was the one that was in forefront asking me, Hajia, what happened now? Hajia, what happened now? So when I now discovered that she was the one, I just felt, okay. God now surprised me. A few weeks after that incident, the bank had crisis. She was asked to go. So she now came and met me that she was leaving. And I felt, maybe it was a mistake on her side. Let me just forgive her. So I love to tell people that no matter how difficult things are, always learn to forgive and let go. What I'm trying to point out here is that never be scared of taking up challenges. Everything in life is an opportunity. So just take it on and give it your best. The whole world will know that you are putting in your best. So my boss called me into his office and said, there's an opening in a very big branch that they need a branch manager and they would love me to take up that assignment. And I was mindful that my branch was still a smaller branch compared to that branch. The other branch was already fully into the new software. And I didn't have a clue of what I was going to do there. So I told my boss, please give me one night. Let me go and pray about it and process it. When I got home, I prayed about it and said, God, this is going to be a big opportunity for me. I don't want to mess it up. Just guide me. So the following day, I went to my boss. I told him, I'm ready to take it on. And alhamdulillah, looking back at everything, it was the best of the best in my life because it showed me that anything that you are interested in doing, just give it your best. When you try your hands on new things, that it will show you your real skill. There are many occasions that I had shortages that I had to pay back. There were occasions that the bank will not just reward your effort. So many promotions that you know that you truly deserve it, you will not get it. All those were just training ground. Because I remember that I had a shortage in my first year in the bank. I had to pay with my salary. But along the line, I just felt it's one of the learning process. There was another time that somebody came into the banking hall to plead for money. So I just felt, okay, this is an opportunity to give. So I now told him to give him his details. So most customers that came in that I had good relationship with, I told them, please, I have a course that I need money for. So many customers donated towards the course. Unfortunately for me, everything was documented. So along the line, some people took it to the management that Hajia is raising money from customers and all that. So when they called me up at the head office that they heard that I was taking money from customers, and I said, I have a list It was a voluntary call. It was not compulsory. And everyone that donated had everything documented. And this is the check that we are taking to the person. Even the person that was reported to put down so much money to it. That was the beginning of my discovering that I think I have the calling to give. So in my usual self, maybe I would have given the person like 10,000 naira then. But that opportunity afforded me giving the person up to 2 million. That was in 1997, I can't forget. This was a TV program that the man came on air that he needed to do some surgery and all that. So I now asked him to come to the bank. So when he came to the bank, I told him, I don't have much to give you, but I can raise money. So I was able to raise close to 2 million in 1997. So through that, I knew that when you are determined, when you know what you want, the whole world will come to celebrate you and make it happen. I remember a particular incident that happened in Madina branch. It was a very busy afternoon, and there was a very long queue. 2 of the cashiers were not there. Out of 6 cashiers, we were only 4. So in the course of trying my best to see what one could do with what was happening and all that, the system broke down. So there was a long queue before me, and I was trying to just manage to do some things manually. So one lady from the queue now started shouting, Madam, ṣé yín sùn ni? You know, it's normal. When somebody challenges you directly, you feel bad. I now raised my head and saw her. I felt bad that, oh, I wish this lady knows that I'm trying my best and all that. So it dampened my spirit for a second, but I just moved on and all that. The shocking part of it was, the following day, she now came to the banking hall asking for me. She now brought a cake to me, telling me that she's sorry for what happened yesterday, that she had a bad mood from her office, and on getting to the banking hall, she was delayed and all that. So then when she got back to her office, she now felt that, oh, she actually spoiled my mood and all that. She now brought a cake. And I said, wow. I said, yes. I noticed that somebody shouted at me yesterday, but I didn't really pay attention, you know. And I can tell you that today, the lady we are talking about is my best friend. She's in Chicago. That incident happened in 1998. Then in 2011, she came to Nigeria. After 12 years, she now traced me to my office. So they now told me I have someone that wanted to see me and all that. And I felt, who could it be? I'd even passed at the reception. I didn't see her. I didn't know that she was one because she had gained so much weight and all that. So when I got back, it was Tricia after 12 years. So I now told her, you remember how we met? She said she can never forget that incident. That it changed her to be a better person. That, you know, ordinarily somebody else would have responded negatively and all that. With all this experience and all that happened, in 2012, the bank was taken over. So we were asked to go. About 800 of us, no exit package, nothing. So I now felt, let me give myself 6 months that this girl deserves some treats. Because in the course of the career, you can't have your vacation when you want to. You can't stay away when you want to. Even when you're not feeling fine, you have to be there. So I now felt, okay, 6 months would not be a bad idea. So I traveled a lot. I read a lot of books that I didn't have time to read and all that. Then because there was no money that came with the exit, I needed to think of where money was going to come from. So I started thinking of trying to turn my passion into money. So I felt, I think I love to travel enough to make a career out of the traveling. So I registered a business name. Then I started talking to people that I have a travel agency. I started working on a lot of travel packages, both destination Nigeria and outside the country and all that. So in the course of doing that, it was not that easy, you know. One was too used to 30 days make one pay. Because when you are doing your business, sometimes you have surplus, sometimes you have shortage. So the first 2 years was tough. I went broke. I could hardly pay rent. I have a young daughter of 2 years then when I left the bank. So and I needed to make a life. In the course of trying to see whether I could combine my travel business with other things, they were not really working the way I wanted. I now said, okay, I think it's time to test my popularity. I called people that I look forward to, those that have been through it, those that have never worked for anybody in their lives, those that were doing their businesses and were okay. Now, Don't tell me this is how tough it is to cross over from being a salary earner to being a business person. A lot of people share their experiences with me. A lot of people encourage me. But at the end of the day, the money just stopped coming. To the extent that my landlord came after me, took my car. So that was another opportunity to test God.
When it rains, they say it pours.
When the landlord came to me and took my car from a new place at Pacto, he got a court judgment against me, even though I've left his house, that I was owing him. He made up a lot of stories against me and all that. So he came for the car, and the car was brand new. So they took the car. I had to call my friends. And the way the country is, help hardly comes from anywhere. I keep telling people that don't think of what people will give you or do for you. Think of what you will do for people. So when I changed my orientation to giving to people, I now started getting more blessings. So on a good day, before I ask for anything, I first of all ask for what can I do for you. So when I changed my orientation and started giving to people, somebody now called me, said, you told us that they've taken your car. You've just moved on. I said, Auntie, what am I going to do? The man is asking for so much million. The woman now said, are you owing him? I said, no, but I don't know where he got the judgment from. But the truth is that I don't even have anybody to even present my case. But I'm just hoping in God that God will do something. She now told me that you are very popular. I said, Auntie, this is not about being popular. This is about crisis. And she said, I know what I'm saying. You are very popular. Go to the mosque. Identify about 10 people. This is another strategy I'm using now in my life. Identify about 10 people that you think are comfortable enough and you think can help. And tell them. I say, Auntie, no, I can't go and beg. He said, you're not begging. Everybody passes through crisis at one point or the other in their lives. And she's someone I owe a lot of respect. So I felt she knew what she was saying. The auntie did not give me 1 naira. But when I remember the advice she gave me, that's why I tell people that it's not about money. Just give of yourself, give of your time. You never can know who needs it at that time. When she now told me, and I said, wow. And I took my phone. And I have contacts, about 1,500 people. How do I pick 10 people from here now that will help? So as I was scrolling through the phone, the idea that she gave me that identify people that you think can help you kept coming to my mind. So very late in the night, I now summoned courage. I now sent text messages. As I'm going through a lot right now. And right now, my car has been taken. And that is the only thing that takes me around. I need you to just give me some money for a short while I'll pay back this and that. I was shocked at the response I got because the man was asking for like 1 million and all that. I got over 3 million. And none of them asked for it. As I was sending messages, please, any amount that you can do. Some people say, Ajia, we are not going to lend you money. We are giving you the money. See, another person say, Ajia, I'm not lending. I am telling you today that the 3 million I got, I never had any cost to return them. So I was able to pay the man. At the end of the day, the man that was asking for 1 million plus ended up collecting 400,000. So I had a credit of 2.6 million to do a lot of things. So I now felt that every disappointment at times is always a blessing. Because the 2.6 million was able to ease my stress, was able to support me in so many things. I was able to revive my business. I was able to get back on track. And I was able to give a testimony that indeed what I felt was a trial was actually a blessing for me. And at the end of the day, I now learned to give back. So learn to express yourself. Learn to share your difficulties. Learn to share your story with people because you never can tell who will come around and help you. So when I was going to pick my car, I was so shocked that the car was even newer than when it was taken. And the person I went to take my car was telling me that where my car was abandoned, there were some cars put on top of it. I felt, wow, the windscreen would have gone. But when they brought the car, nothing, including the tires, everything was intact. I just felt that maybe God wanted to keep the car away from me to even protect me for something else. I would like to state here that the reality in life is that once you know what you want and you set your mind to it, the whole world will make it happen for you. That is the truth. I'm a testimony to that. That just know what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, everything will be dumped on you. So once you know what you want, the word will make it happen. It's for real.
When life serves you lemon, you make lemonade of it. The Creator never does anything wrong, for He is full of knowledge of what we know not. To Him belongs all power.
I hope I've been able to impact you in my own little way.
If you have been inspired by this story, or you want to share your own story as well, send us a message on info@aleeftv.com.